Welcome to Around the House, sponsored by ReMax Building Supply. I'm your host, Don Magruder. Today we're going to have a special market update, and we're going to discuss all the issues concerning the local housing market. Joining me today is Tammy Dunseath. She's with ReMax Premiere Realty. She's an expert in the field, and we're going to have a very, I'm going to say, somber conversation about what's going on with the housing markets, because there's a lot of challenges, and we want to make sure you fully understand it. We're going to first talk about the housing market, the resale market, and then we're also then going to talk about building materials in the new home market and give you as best information we can for March 1st, 2022. So Tammy, welcome. I'm glad to have you here. It's always a pleasure. You are such an expert on local realty. First, give me your impressions of the local markets.
I think they're interesting. I think that, so there's, I believe, good news and maybe bad news all in one. So it's kind of a mixture. Prices are going up still, but they're not shooting up. So if we take an entire year, we see from January 2021 to January 2022, there's a 23% increase, which is pretty significant, but it has gradually went there. There's not like a shoot, like a big shot up. But we do see that an inventory, again, is still dropping. In fact, that's where we see a big decline. We went from 1.6 months on the market a year ago to less than 1 month inventory in the market right now. So that's where it kind of gets a little bit on the serious side of just real estate.
So what you're essentially saying, you don't have nothing to sell.
We have very little to sell. We have like one house per like 100 buyers. You know, we have a lot of buyers coming in, and they're pre-qualified or they have their cash, but there is not homes to sell them.
Now I want to dive into a couple of things. First thing I want to address, we get asked all the time, like you do. This is 2005 and 6 repeating again, and I contend that 2005 and 6, and I'm right, that was a financially driven bubble, giving loans to people and building stuff and buying stuff that they couldn't do. This is a housing boom. This is an actual shortage of houses.
You know, we've had some significant events that happened in the last 12 months. One was after COVID. Banks weren't allowed to, during COVID, foreclose. And then that was released, or that was taken off. And we had a lot of people expecting to see a little bit of heightened foreclosures. And in the last 12 months in Florida, we have had, or sorry, not 12 months, in January, we've had 50 homes foreclosed on only. And how many people did you say live in the state of Florida?
State of Florida's got nearly 23 million homes.
Right, and like only 14 short sales. And so we're not seeing that, that whole distress property coming up. So that idea of it, just that bubble bursting, is like, that shows you that it's not. We're also seeing a 30% increase in cash sales.
Wow.
So we, a lot of people who predicted that things would stabilize a little bit more when interest rates climbed a little bit. Well, when we have in the family community 30% increase in cash sales, and in the 55 plus community, we have about 75%, if not more, of the sales are cash. So we're not seeing the interest rates and the small climate interest rates, and it's not really hugely significant yet, affect the market either. The one thing we are just seeing is there's just not enough houses.
And you know what, Tammy, I contend, and I could be borne out wrong, is interest rates will probably have to go up 2 to 3 points before you see any effect on housing, because most buyers are 40s and 50s. They're used to 6 and 7%
Right.
interest rates. These ungodly 3% interest rates and 4s are something new.
Yeah.
Let's go back and talk a little bit about the values of homes. Values continue to increase. What's the average value or selling price?
So yeah, there's two different numbers. The average is over 400 in our local area. It's 402 or 410 actually is the average sale price in the Tri-County area, Marion County, Sumter, and Lake County. That's kind of crazy to see over 400. And a year ago it was 329. So again, we're seeing that increase in the average right here.
But most importantly, your numbers also report, like you said earlier, you got less than a month of houses on the market.
We do. And more buyers wanting that house, those houses.
And I want to have a little conversation about the frustrations that everyone's feeling. This is where it's not fun to be a realtor, is it? You have one house and you have 50, 60, 70 potential buyers. Say you have a house, you were telling me earlier, house under $300,000 is rare.
And it's going to have multiple offers on it. Yeah.
So for example, say I had a house in Leesburg, and it's a decent house in just a decent area, $280,000. What could I expect?
Well, we put that house on the market, and you can expect in the first day of market, probably, and in the upwards of over 20 offers. Unfortunately, and this is where it's tough as an agent, because every one of those buyers really want to find a home, and every one of those agents really want to do the best they can for their buyer. Unfortunately, if the buyers have a loan, specifically a USDA or an FHA, some are VA government-backed loans, well, it'll be really hard for the seller, to even consider those offers, because there's a little bit of more hurdles and hoops to jump through. But you can also expect that somebody's going to come in with cash and offer over asking price. As a seller, you can expect that you don't really have to do anything when it comes to repairs, and you can pretty much set your terms for closing date and any other thing that you want to go on with that house. I have a buyer who called me today. They're coming in on Friday, and they wanted me to share with the seller that of the home they're looking for, hey, just let us know before we come what's the best closing date for you, what are the terms, we want to make it happen. And so as a seller, those terms are really in your court.
And see, that's obviously frustrating, because there are a lot of people who have realtors who are looking for homes, and they go to buy a home and they're being told, well, cash buyers come along. And I guess the interesting fact that you mentioned, and I want to really emphasize this, if you're buying a home, if you want to make an offer on a home, and you have a home inspection, and there's things that need to be repaired, a faucet repair or a light repair or something, if you start nickel and diming saying these got to be repaired, you lose the house.
Right. In fact, one area that sellers, and it sometimes, well, obviously cash and cash full price or more speaks volumes, but some sellers just don't want the stress of even the inspection. So if you can, even waive the inspection period and waive the appraisal, that'll set you up really high.
Tammy, as we go into spring, how do you anticipate this market to react the next couple of months, and really for the rest of the year? Do you see any relief in sight?
Well, I don't see. I see prices continuing to climb, but again, that's where the good news is. They're in a gradual climb.
But they're still climbing.
But they're still climbing. And I guess I feel good about that if, as an agent, not because obviously values are good for me, but if I can confidently tell a buyer today, if you buy a home today, it's going to increase in value. It's this trending that way. But with the lack of inventory, and there's a lot of people who won't sell because there's nowhere to go, right? So with the lack of inventory, with building taking so much longer to complete, unless the demand or the inventory increases, I see this as still being a struggle for a while.
Yeah, and that's the thing about it. The other thing, people say, well, the prices are going up, it's unsustained. But we've looked at several houses that were built in the mid-2000s, and the price and material and stuff was lower. We actually did this analysis, and just 2 years ago did those values come up there. So if you realistically, the housing market has been undervalued for about 12 years. So
right.
if you got a house 3 years ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago, wow,
you're lucky. And that's why short sales are so low, because if you bought a home prior to even last year, there's no reason why you should be under. You should, because from 2009, 2009 was the best time to buy a home. The prices were as low as they have ever been, but you stole it then, and you're right, they've only recovered now 2018, 19, and 20. So we're technically just kind of growing from our 2005 numbers.
And that's very important. Mm-hmm. Important because most people think it's huge inflation, but the markets have been so depressed. Because I really want to talk about mm-hmm. this market issue a little bit. I'm going to switch to the new home building side, and I'm going to talk about price materials. That's where I'm at. I tell you what's driving the price materials. It's not political. It's not any of those issues. It's a capacity issue. And people ask, what's capacity? Capacity is the ability inside the United States to provide the building materials to construct homes in the projects in this country. What's happened, I'm going to give you, I tell you, these numbers are the most interesting numbers you can find. In 1979, I'm dating myself, that's when I graduated high school, interest rates were 11.2% on average. The population was 225.1 million in the United States, and we built, our housing starts were 1,745,000, okay? Fast forward to December 2021. We did 1,702,000 housing starts. So we're 43,000 housing starts less than 1979. Interest rates are below 4, so you're 7 points better on interest rates. But the population today is 329.5 million. So we have 104.4 million people and building less homes. Now, if you look from the time period of the Great Crash to 2020, the country averaged 983,000 housing starts, the lowest 12-year period in our history since World War II. In fact, that's when they started recording these things. We have not built enough houses, and the reason why we didn't build enough houses, you couldn't get qualified for a house for 5, 6 years.
Right.
All those foreclosures, people couldn't buy houses. People wasn't building houses, couldn't get money. People were living with each other like they are now. And so people are now getting better in their life when they can build houses and buy houses, but we don't have the capacity to build them. And that's leading to some very treacherous times. I know a lot of things are in motion, but let me give you some, for examples. From January 15th to March 1st of this year, CDX is up 6%. Spruce is up 10.5%. Trusses are up 10.8%. Spruce studs are up 9%. OSB sheathing is up 55.6%.
Wow.
Shingles are up 7.2%. Windows are up 14%. Doors are up 13%. And that's on top of all the inflation from last year. So you're talking about the last 6 to 8 weeks we've had that much inflation. And the thing about it, prices are still going up.
Right.
We're having problems with raw materials. Trucking is a disaster. Labor's a disaster. And my belief is April and May, we're going to have, as the north thaws out, we're going to have significant supply issues with materials. So I see little relief in the way of materials going down. And you fall into what you said, that 1 month supply, what happens?
Right. And and they're related to each other. So as materials go up, as it takes longer to build, that's just going to drive the pre-owned homes already the prices. And so that's where that trend of still growing is going to keep.
So we got to give everybody a little hope.
Yeah. Okay.
Let's give some people hope.
Good. I like good news.
Because, so if you're, obviously if you're selling a house, great time to sell a house. What should you do to sell a house, Tammy?
You can give me a call and we'll make it happen.
Oh, you won't be the first one to call?
There you go.
Okay.
It is a good time to sell, especially if you're downsizing, especially if you've got a second home and you just want some extra capital, extra money. And truly, if you're an acreage and you want to downsize, I really feel like that's like you're like jackpot. People are looking for acreage. If you're in a pool home and you want to get to a non-pool home, pool home scope and the values are like ridiculously higher than they've ever been. If you're in a 55 plus community and you're lucky enough to have a view, if you're okay to get rid of that view because you'll sell that house for more than you've ever been able to sell because that view is prime. So it's not all, it's still a good time for many others. And again, knowing that when you buy a home, the values are still increasing. They're not shooting up, they're increasing steadily. So you're gonna have equity in that home the way it looks like this time next year, still. So it's not looking like it's gonna just drop like it did before. So that's great news in that sense.
And I do want to point out, Florida housing compared to most major parts of the country are still low.
It is.
When you go to New York, Illinois, California, Florida pricing on housing is very low, and Florida's a no income tax state. Their property taxes are well affordable. So it's a great place to live. And plus you got all this sunshine.
Yeah.
From our side of the fence, if you're planning to build a new project or a home, first thing you want to probably consider hand framing trusses. Trusses are 8 to 12 months out, but there are crews now who are being developed hand frame trusses. You can actually get those moving. A lot of companies like ours, we're going to stock window programs and stock door programs. Don't order any specials. Go see what's in stock. Go ask for deals. Every company has deals. Say, hey, I'm building a house. Do you have a door that was maybe not used on a project that I could buy at a lower price? Look for deals. And then whatever you do, when you go to line up your builder or contractor, develop a good relationship with them. You can't be adversarial with people.
Oh, no.
No. If it's, a lot of people, I hate to just be honest with you, these builders and contractors, they have people 5 and 10 deep. And if you're one of these folks who are very difficult to deal with, you won't get the best. You're going to get people who will sell you or do work for you, and they're going to charge you a lot more. So,
Right.
those are just small items, but the good news is the economy's booming. Everybody's working. The economic times are good, and these will pass, and these are good problems to have.
Right.
There's no need wringing your hands. It's a lot better than 2008, isn't it?
Absolutely. Outside of the fact that you have to be more patient now, and I think that's really the rule, like building more patient here and more patient when it comes to like finding that home. I think that it's way less bleak than what, we saw in 2007 and 8.
And Tammy, it's no need being a cheerleader right now. You need to tell people honest truth. So don't get frustrated. Go through the process. Get someone you can trust, and you'll get through it just fine.
Yeah.
Tammy, before we leave, tell everybody if they want to contact you for more information, how can they reach you?
Well, you can always call me. My number is 352-512-4419, or email me at tammydunseath@gmail.com. I'm always available, or if I'm not, I'll just get right back to you. But thanks for that. That was kind of you to offer that.
But Tammy, we thank you because your information, you are one of the best realtors in all of Lake and Sumter County. Do a tremendous job. And I also want to thank you for watching today. I hope you enjoyed this special update. Be sure to go to aroundthehouse.tv for more helpful tips. Until next time, we will see you around the house.
From foundation to rooftop, ReMax got you covered.